for clicking. Welcome to another Knowledge Math production. Today we're going to be talking about ratios, which is a fancy way to say fractions, because we've done it many times before. All right, so let's get started. We're going to see a couple of different ways to write ratios. We'll talk about unit rate, and we'll go from there. So a ratio, let's get my pen out here. There we go. A ratio is a comparison of two quantities by division. Okay. A ratio can be used to represent relationships within a set, parts to a whole, or between two sets. All right. So we can use a ratio to compare the number of roses in a vase to the number of tulips in a vase. That's between two sets. How many roses versus how many tulips. Or you can compare, for example, the number of green frogs in a pond to the total number of frogs in the same pond. Okay. So specific frogs to all frogs. Or if you were talking about the roses and the tulips, how many roses there are in the vase compared to all the flowers that are in the vase. You don't care what kind they are. All right, that's how you can write ratios. Ratios can be simplified, okay? And we already know how to do that. We'll do it. We'll work with it. So let's say you have a room of 20 people comprised of 12 women and 8 men. What is the ratio of women to men? Now, the order matters. Okay, so if I say women to men, you would write, there's a couple ways you could write it. You could write 12:8. You could write 12 to 8, or you could write 12/8 as a fraction. Any one of these three is fine. Okay, men to women, so now men come first, 8 to 12, 8 to 12, or 8/12. And again, think about these fractions. These fractions could be reduced. They're not in lowest terms. All right, we're going to leave them here for now, but we could put them in lowest terms if we needed to, and we will later. What is the ratio of women to total number of people? Women to total number. So there are 12 women, and how many total? So 20 in total, right? 12 plus 8. So that's 12 to 20, or 12 to 20, or 12/20. Okay, so that's a ratio, all right, written three different ways. And there are three ways that you can write a ratio. A fraction, A over B, A:(B), A2B. We just went over that on the last slide. Okay, same idea. You're making your mom's delicious salad dressing. I don't know. The recipe calls for many ingredients. 2 cups of olive oil, 3 cups of garlic. Write the ratio of olive oil to garlic in 3 ways. So it's 2 to 3, or 2 to 3, or 2/3. Colon, word 2, or a fraction. Any one of those 3. All right, your turn. Ratio that compares the number of footballs to the number of tennis balls. So let's see. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 footballs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tennis balls. So we could go 4 to 6. We could say 4 to 6. Or we could say 4/6. Girls to the total number. So how many? Looks like there's 3 girls. I guess these are the girls here. 3 girls. And then the total number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. So 3 to 9, 3 to 9, 3/9. Any one of those is fine. Again, you can also put these in lowest terms, which we will do coming up momentarily. Equivalent ratios. 2 ratios that have the same value are equivalent. There are a couple of ways to determine if ratios are equivalent. Okay, we've done this before. You can either multiply, cross multiply, and see if the 2 answers you get are equal. So I'll show you on the first one, for example. So 16 times 3, 8, 1 to carry, 48. And 4 times 12, that's also 48. Are these equivalent? Yes. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to put the 2 fractions in lowest terms. So 25/35, 5 goes in each. 5 goes into 25 5 times, 5 into 35, 7. And then 10 to 14, 2 goes into each one of those. That's also 5 over 7. Yes. They're equivalent. They're both 5 over 7 when they're reduced. And then that's the way I prefer to do it, to be honest with you. 12 over 17 can't be reduced. 10 over 15 can, so you can probably see where this is going already. 10 goes into, or 5 goes into 10 2 times, 3 times, 2/3. No. These are not the same. 12 over 17 and 2/3, definitely not the same. Okay, so now, a unit rate, well, a rate is a ratio that compares two quantities with different kinds of units. So, for example, you can type 100 words every 2 minutes. It's $3.50 per gallon of gasoline. Okay, it's 50 cents per lemon at the store. Or you could buy 5 lemons for $2, right? Whatever that may be. That's a rate. When a rate is simplified so it has a 1 in the denominator, it's called a unit rate. So to find the unit rate, you write the two quantities as a fraction. Okay. You divide. Let's divide both the numerator and denominator by the denominator. And that creates a denominator of 1. A single unit means 1. And then write the unique units of measurements for both, and then you'll have your unit rate. All right, so here's the idea. Okay, you kind of already know how to do this. Alex can run 24 miles in 3 hours. What's his average speed in miles per hour? We want to know how many miles he can run in 1 hour. So he can go 24 miles in 3 hours. So if I divide 3 into 24, I get 8 miles for every 1 hour. Or I can divide both of these by 3. It does the same thing. And I get 8 miles per hour. That's his average speed. Okay, you buy 5 pounds for $35. How much does 1 pound cost? So it's $35 for 5 pounds. Divide them both by 5 or do 5 into 35. $7 for 1 pound. It's $7 per pound. All right, we're just dividing. Okay, same idea. So now let's figure out the better buy between these. 1 apple's 19 cents, 3 apples are 59 cents. Okay, so the unit rate would be it's 19 cents per 1 apple. It already is a unit rate. 3 apples cost 59 cents. All right, so which is the better buy? There's a couple ways you could do this. We could take 0.59 and put 3 into it. In the decimal there, 1, 2, bring down the 9. 3 goes into 29, 9 times. 27, 2, bring down a 0. 6. So I'm going to stop there. So my unit rate would be 0.196 for 1 apple. So which is the better buy? Choice A. That's one way to do it. The other way you could do it is, if you know it's 19 cents for 1 apple, how much would it cost you for 3 of these apples? We'll just do 0.19 times 3 and compare that answer to 59 cents. Whichever one's cheaper is the better buy. Okay? 20 pounds of pet food for $14.99 versus 50 pounds of pet food for $37.99. All right, so we're going to do 20 into $14.99. 20 does not go into 14. 20 does go into 149 7 times. 20 goes into 99 4 times. 20 goes into 190 9 times. So this is 0.4795 for 1 pound. 50 pounds of pet food for $37.99. So bring down the 9. 50 goes into 379. 7 times. 50 goes into 299. About 5 times. All right, at this point, I'm going to stop because this is $0.75 per pound. Somewhere, LB. Somewhere in there. So which is better? A is better. It's cheaper. And then finally, a car that travels 308 miles on 11 gallons of gas. So 11 into 308. 11 goes into 30 twice. 11 goes into 88 8 times. So that's 28 miles for every 1 gallon. And then 406. So 14 into 406 twice. And then 14 into 126. 9. Yeah. Goes in 9 times. 14 times 9 is 126. 9 times 4 is 36. 3 to carry. 126. So this is 29 miles for every gallon. So which is better? B. You want to go 29 miles per gallon compared to 28 miles per gallon, right? Less gas. Okay? And that's it. And as always, thanks for clicking.